He like tumbles in here in 2 minutes.
It happens, and we're live.
All right, here we go. All right, good morning, people.
Good morning.
So, we got Ryan as a special guest here today, stepping in for Big Mike. We don't know exactly where Big Mike is,
He's MIA.
so
Could
yeah,
be sleeping, could be on his way here. He's
Yeah.
somewhere.
he's somewhere. Don't worry, he's okay. We'll figure that out momentarily. But yeah, we got episode 365.
366.
Fuck.
You're
got
so
episode-
close.
We got episode 366. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. And all the other good jazz. Dante will tell you what videos are coming out. And then he'll start spilling out topics. Dante, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nick. Today we have Name the Year at 8 p.m. Don't know exactly what that is.
That was that game we played last week.
What was
Oh,
it
the
again?
song. Oh, the song. Ah, okay. So this is from last week. All right. So we made a video of we guessed some songs. We had to guess what year they came out. This and that. So that's coming out on YouTube tonight at 8 p.m. So check that out. And like Nick said, check this out. Listen to our other In the Pit episodes. Thank you guys for the support. Head over to Patreon. Get behind the paywall. You know the drill. All right, guys. You ready to talk about some stuff that's been going on in the world?
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
I need 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, wait 10 minutes for me.
I got it. Don't worry. we'll just shoot the shit for 10 minutes. No. All right. Alvin Kamara. We talked about this the
This is
other
such an
day.
unfortunate thing, man. Oh my word. I think he's gonna ruin it. I think he's ruining his NFL career.
So there are new reports coming out about what happened here, and video surveillance shows Alvin Kamara punching a man approximately 8 times before his associates proceeded to stomp on him several more times on the ground in a Las Vegas casino.
His whole crew beat up one guy.
That's what
Yeah,
it's.
I mean,
that's
who
what
the
it sounded
like?
like.
Really? Like, wow! Congratulations.
The man who was knocked unconscious sustained an orbital fracture to his right eye, among other injuries.
Yeah, he's gonna be suing Kamara.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
He's
And
gonna be suing him.
I guess so. He was taken into custody inside the stadium where the Pro Bowl was, but they knew about this before the Pro Bowl. They let
He
him
did this
play.
before the Pro Bowl.
This was the night before,
Oh my!
and they let
fucking
him
word.
play in the Pro Bowl, and
Oh
then they
my
arrested him
fucking
when the
word.
game was over.
How fucked up is that? You let the guy play in the Pro Bowl, and then after, hey, take your shoulder pads off. You're coming with us.
Right, yeah, I guess the NFL and Las Vegas police kind of just agreed to let him play in the game, and afterwards they'll.
That's horseshit.
So
One of the many things wrong with the NFL.
the video surveillance matched everything that the victim said. So there's really not much here that Alvin Kamara continued to defend himself. The man said he started a conversation with one member of a
He's
group
here.
of people while waiting for an elevator as he was leaving the casino at 6:30 a.m. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
We had to pull an audible this morning.
Unbelievable. Guy hits a little traffic and he gets demoted out of his seat.
Nice jacket. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you wear a jacket before.
Thanks, I was just hanging out with you.
Okay,
Alright.
bye guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. I'll wait to finish the story when Mike comes back. But yeah, things aren't looking good for Alvin Kamara right now. That's really what it's looking like. And I'll just keep going about this. So the man, when the elevator doors opened, the man started to walk toward the elevator along with a large party of a man later identified as Kamara, put his hand on the victim's chest to stop him. Kamara, they kept pushing each other back and forth, and then he started getting hit, and he started getting punched and kicked by his crew and everything like that, and then lost consciousness. Yeah, so that he continued to beat him up, this and that, injured his face, chest, and legs. He apparently his associates stomped him 16 times when he was on the ground unconscious, and security came, broke it up, and that's what happened.
I mean, there's no way. I understand it's the NFL, and I understand he's probably going to get a slap on the wrist. But he's definitely. That screen just went out.
It
Okay.
went out?
Yeah, just went
Oh,
out. Yeah.
okay.
Whatever.
You guys look great, so don't worry.
Perfect.
Actually, Mike, can you scoot in just a... beautiful. Yeah.
You know, he says we look great, and he's telling you to screw
No, you guys look great, but you just just get a little more in frame.
right, cool.
But we're good now.
Unbelievable.
So anyway, what I was saying is that, he's gonna get suspended. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's not a question of how many. It's just a question of how many games.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing: he could do prison time. He could. I'm not saying he will, but he definitely could.
When's the last time an NFL player did something like this and got prison time?
That's the thing. He's
Never
gonna
happened.
get out of it. He's gonna
Trick
just cop a
trick
plea
question.
deal. I
Never
agree.
happens.
I did read an article that said that he could face up to a 6-game suspension, which, I mean,
There's no way he walks out of this without a suspension.
yeah, it really depends. Obviously, they're gonna go to court and they're gonna get into all that shit. But Mike, we talked about this the other day too, and Mike is right. Like, I mean, especially with the NFL, man, he's gonna get out of it. He's gonna cop a plea deal. He's gonna pay the guy.
He'll get
medical
suspended
bills,
and that's
whatever.
it.
He'll get suspended a few games, and that'll be that. Apparently, the fight started because the man called one of his friends ugly.
That's fair. Fair way to start a fight.
That's what started the fight, I guess.
That's hands on sight after that.
No offense, but if you see Kamara with his entourage, and you're the only one there, probably the
Yeah,
last thing you should probably fucking say.
yeah. I mean, I'm not condoning what Kamara did, but you probably shouldn't be making any comments. So he's due for a court appearance March 8th, and I guess we'll see what happens after that. So
Oh yeah.
that's what's going on with him. So we can move on from Alvin Kamara. Staying on the football topic, you guys might like this. So yesterday, Tom Brady made a few statements.
I don't even want to talk about this. This is so stupid. I mean, I'm not saying we can't. I was just saying out loud, like, this is stupid on his part.
He said, so he was addressing the idea of returning to the NFL. He said, I'm just going to take things as they come. I think that's the best way to put it. You never say never. At the same time, I feel very good about my decision. I don't know how I'll feel 6 months from now. It will
Yeah.
change. It most likely won't, but I try to make the best possible decision I can in the moment, which I did this last week.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a normal statement. I think this is a classic dissect every word he said and look into it too much. That's just a guy who just retired from a sport he played for 22 years. And he's just saying, like yeah, it's obviously still on my...
Sorry,
It's
go fishy,
always...
let it go.
It's always going to be on my mind. Like, he's not going to come back.
We talked about this too, Nick. You said it. I mean, it's one thing when you pull something like this and like you're in your 30s or you're younger. He's 45 years old. He comes back. He's going to come back for 46,
I think
47-year-old
Joe literally
season.
kill him if he came
And
back.
he gets hit. And obviously, like, I'm sure he'll stay in great shape and he'll continue to work out and, be on top. He's not going to be, training every day and, like, going hard like he's playing every Sunday. But, he'll stay in good shape. He's been doing it for his entire life. I don't think he's going to break that.
He's got a brand to keep. He can't just all of a sudden fall off the bandwagon.
He's got a brand to keep, exactly, too. So, not to say that he wouldn't be in good shape when he came back, but he won't be in nearly as great shape as he is now. And I mean, for a 45-year-old, he's in great shape. I mean, you take a few years off. I mean, that your body. I mean, it's gonna be a lot different. It's gonna he takes a
not
hit.
happening.
You worry about him taking a hit now. Remember, taking a hit a year from now, a year out of the game.
It's not
That
happening.
he could turn to dust. So, and then he kept saying. He goes, I think it's not looking to reverse course. I'm definitely not looking to do that, but at the same time, I think you have to be realistic that you never know what challenges there are going to be in life. I love playing. I'm looking forward to doing things other than playing. That's as honest as I can be. So, yeah, I think this is kind of people just picking apart this statement and trying to look for something. If he wanted to keep playing, he wouldn't have retired. That's the matter of the fact. Because we said he had one of the best statistical seasons of his career. No one would blame him for coming back. No one blames him for retiring. But, like, you made this decision. I think that's just how it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to come back. So
Nope. He gone.
he's gone. All right. The next topic. Los Angeles could hold the hottest Super Bowl on record. So there's an excessive heat watch that has been issued in Southern California, including Los Angeles, and it could be close to 90 degrees for the Super Bowl this Sunday.
What? It's usually not that hot in LA in the winter.
I guess there's just a heat wave going through there right
Damn.
now. There's one. The unseasonable heat will increase the potential of heat-related illnesses for visitors from other part of the country.
It's 90 degrees. It's not like 100 and Jesus Christ,
It's
people
gonna
are
be-
so
it's-
fucking soft.
It's going to be dry here, too. It's not going to be humidity.
It's 90 degrees. Like, yeah, okay, that's hot, but like, okay, it's Southern California. That's the summer for them.
You and I both know that California people, they can't handle heat.
It's fucking all soft out there.
This would be the first time a Super Bowl took place during extreme heat. I'm just reading the article. The hottest game was played on January 14th, 1973, also in Los Angeles, which was the second time the Super Bowl was played in LA. At the kickoff, the temperature was 84 degrees, so that is the hottest. For those visiting Los Angeles for the game, wear light clothing, drink plenty of water, and avoid strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day is advised. There's going to be 70,000. Okay, so, I mean...
And every other day in the summer, all across the country, everyone be careful because it might be a little hot out there.
I will say, though...
And make sure you bring your N95 mask.
I wonder if... is there a mask mandated in
Yeah, I think
California?
there
Do
is.
they have- Yeah. Ooh,
In
that's-
LA? Yeah.
That's going to be
It's
interesting.
the most fucking liberal state out there.
I wonder if you were going to be seeing people in the crowd wearing masks. So, I mean, in their defense, I mean, there's going to be 70,000 people there. They're going to be pretty bunched together. It can get pretty hot. They can get pretty hot in there. So, I'm not a fan of super hot weather personally, so I wouldn't be too hyped about this, but it's the Super Bowl.
But if you plan on going to Disney World in May, it's going to get hot down there, buddy. I'm just letting you know.
Different.
Just letting you know. Oh, I know it's different.
A little
You
different.
gotta fucking, you gotta take care of Minnie Mouse.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it actually hits 90 degrees or not. They're just speculating, but they're going through a heat wave, so hydrate if you're in
Fucking heat
California.
wave, Mike.
Drink plenty
Yeah.
of water.
Fucking heat wave.
All right, switching sports to a sport we don't talk about a lot. Mike, I think this is, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, Nick, but Mike, you might be. Tuukka Rask will reportedly retire in the next upcoming days.
He is not continuing with his comeback with the Bruins.
Mhm.
I just don't think his body can do it. I don't think he tried. He gave it a go, but that the injury he had is just, and he's older.
What is he, like 30?
He's in his mid-30s.
Mid-30s, yeah.
And the injury he had is substantial for a goalie. It was his his
A hip flexor, right? Or a hip pointer?
hip what's the word? Labrum.
Labrum.
Hip labrum. And you goalies in hockey are some of the most flexible people out there. It's really all in the hips for them. So it probably just that's a major surgery at that age, and it's just probably he probably just couldn't do it.
So
I mean, wasn't he flirting with retirement before that injury too? So,
Yeah,
so the injury doesn't help anything.
Tuukka Rask is a very weird story. He, in my opinion, Hall of Fame is I don't know, but
he is
he's
the
a
winningest goalie in Boston Bruins history.
Yeah, he's probably a Hall of Famer. I think. He's unbelievable goalie, unbelievable talent.
The only thing,
Boston hates him.
never won a ring,
Never won a
Why
ring.
do they hate him?
unfortunately.
Boston. No, sorry, I shouldn't say all Boston hates him. He gets so much
Been your
scrutiny.
goalie for like the last 10 years.
Yeah, he gets so much scrutiny because he's a. It's very hard to explain. He's very good, but he's just he
He doesn't fit well with the Boston culture.
not even that. It's just like I think it's because he's so goddamn good. He makes it look easy, and people think it looks like he doesn't care. There have been things like last year with COVID, where he opted
out.
He opted out of the bubble like kind of late, and it was weird. He said it was a family emergency and all that stuff.
Mhm.
He was playing golf the next day. He was on a tee sheet the next day. It was weird. But I have nothing against the guy. He's unbelievable for Boston, like you said. This is the most wins ever for a goalie in Boston. I got nothing against the guy. He had a great career.
Is he better than Tim Thomas was for Boston?
Yeah, Tim Thomas just had that really
Tim
good
Thomas had the
playoff
good
run.
run when they won the championship. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Um,
mean, I'm
Tough
I'm-
to see him go. But
yeah.
Who's the goalie now?
They signed Jonas Olmark
in the offseason
in the
they
offseason.
signed
It was a
him,
good
yeah.
it was a good signing. He's a good talent. And they have Swayman as the backup too, who's just a young kid out of University of Maine. A lot of growing to do there, but he's got good upside. So the goalies are fine in Boston. We'll be fine. Olmark's had a really good season.
All right. Yeah, so Tuukka, he has a record of 308 wins, 165 losses, 66 ties, and a .921 save percentage. I mean, those are great numbers. And this tweet here says, Tuukka Rask is a first ballot inductee into Boston sports' underappreciated and overcriticized Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's pretty
Dude.
much what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's it's tough. Yeah, I mean, I always, I mean, again, I'm not a big hockey guy. I'm not gonna act like I follow the Bruins on social media, so like whenever they play and stuff, I see the results and what's going on and all that. But I always knew Tuukka was flirting with it, and he came back. I actually was at the game where he came back. I didn't even know it was his first game back. People are going crazy. I'm like, why? What, hasn't he been back for a little bit? And like, no, this is his first game. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
boy.
Yeah, clueless going to my first Bruins game. So that was great. And I didn't even know he got hurt again. So seeing this kind of was out of left field for me. But, you're right, Mike. I mean, with a hip injury, goalies, I mean, that's your – if you have that as your crutch, I mean, you're out. Like if he has discomfort there, too, like there's only so much you can do,
It's
man.
grueling, man.
It's a tough injury. So shout out Tuukka. Thanks for a great career. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not official yet, but it's as official as it comes without it being official.
Start
Unofficial.
coming out of his mouth.
Unofficially official.
So shout out Tuukka. All right, do you guys mind if we talk a little bit about the NBA?
Nope.
Tiny bit.
No,
Tiny bit.
go for it.
Go for it.
All right. So the trade deadline is on Thursday, and so far there have been a few big trades that have happened. Two of them
Enlighten
happened.
us, Dante.
What happened?
Enlighten us.
Enlighten me. I will. So let me go through the first trade that happened early in the morning yesterday. C.J. McCollum, he is a former shooting guard on the Portland Trail Blazers with Damian Lillard. He was traded to New Orleans for, I want to pull up the trade really quick. Okay, so he got traded to New Orleans with Larry Nance Jr. for Josh Hart and why can't I find this right? He got traded for Josh Hart and draft picks and a few other like filler guys, like rookies and all that. Not rookies, but younger players. Expiring contracts, stuff like that. So with this happening, New Orleans now has C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, who is a 25-point-per-game scorer, and Zion when he decides to get healthy and lose weight. Now the Trailblazers, this is what the interesting thing is. So the starting lineup when the season started was Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Robert Covington, Larry Nance, and Nurkic. Three of those starters are traded. They trade three of those guys. Nurkic is still there, but the way that it's looking is that he might get traded before the deadline ends tomorrow. So Damian Lillard he's going to be left alone there. He has gone on in the past to say that he wants to stay there. He wants to help win them a ring, this and that. And this is just perfect. This is such a business move by like the Trailblazers because they're making it so they're leaving him with nothing, and they're going to make him request a trade so they can make it look like he's the one that wanted out and we're not the ones that traded him without him wanting to leave. For his entire career, he's wanted to stay there, help do whatever he had to do, and they've gotten close a few times, make it to the conference finals, but they, between being in the West, injuries, and just kind of failing to surround him with the right talent, C.J. McCollum was great. They were an unbelievable backcourt, and they just never helped him out when he was trying to do what he thought was best. So now he's not on the trade block. They say that they want to build around him and have a shit ton of cap space, but I don't think they're going to get anyone in the offseason.
Who
And
the
with
fuck
that,
is going to want to go to Portland?
that's another thing too. It's just you look at the
Offense.
situation that they're in,
The
and
hell
it's
wants to go
just
there?
I'd rather be a fan of like Detroit or like Oklahoma City right now because at least you got a future. Like right now you have no young guy. You got Damian Lillard who's might be out for the rest of the year with an injury, and other than
Lillard
that,
out?
yeah, he's been out for a while. He has a abductor injury, I believe it was. He's been out for a little bit, but the way things are looking, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they sat him the rest of the year because they're not competing for anything. They're not going to compete for it. They're not even going to make the playoffs. So there's no point of him really playing. And if they, I think he's going to get traded this offseason is what I'm trying to get at. I don't think they're going to be able to build around him. I don't think anyone wants to go there, and I don't think he'll want to stay. So that was the first trade. And the second trade, this was the one that, and a bunch of reports came out after, scouts, coaches, executives, they were in shock that this trade happened. So it was Domantas Sabonis, who was on the Indiana Pacers, all-star. His father was Ildranas Sabonis, who was unbelievable as well. Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, two fillers, sent him to the Kings Sacramento for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Now, Sabonis was most likely going to get traded no matter whether it was this team or somewhere else. His name was being thrown around for a while. Pacers didn't want to pay him his contract, even though he's their best player. The Kings gave up Tyrese Halliburton, who's a second-year player, so he's still very young, but he has shown in 2 years that he can, he has star potential. Like, in 4 or 5 years, he could be, like, a top 5 guard in the NBA. Like, he legitimately can be a beast. And now he's going to the Pacers, and the Kings now have De'Aaron Fox, another point guard, and Sabonis. And those two guys, I don't think it's going to mesh well. They're not even going to make the playoffs anyways. This was kind of just like this was just a very confusing trade. There was no reason for the Kings to do something like this. They're trying to add more talent, like a bigger name player, but they got rid of Buddy Hield, who was a 40% three-point shooter, Tyrese Halliburton, who could have been the future of Sacramento, and just brought in a guy that's getting paid $35 million a year that you're going to have to settle with for the next few years unless you trade him, and De'Aaron Fox, and that's about it. And it's the Kings for years. They're a poverty franchise.
I was about to say, who really gives a fuck about the Sacramento Kings, too?
I want to
How
read.
about another place you wouldn't want to go?
So people on Reddit were going crazy after the trade, basically saying like, people were like, my kids are crying. I just woke my kids up screaming. I'm in a fit of rage. I just broke my phone. People were bullshit that this happened. This was literally out of left field.
There's probably 2 fucking Sacramento fans anyway.
There really shouldn't be that many. And if people are watching, if you're from Sacramento, you're a fan, hop off. You have every reason to be a fan of another
Yeah, and
team.
just stop lying to yourself.
Vlade Divac runs that team, and he has pummeled that team into the ground over the last few years. They just make boneheaded decisions, that franchise. And it's like, on paper, you have Fox and Sabonis. You got a perennial all-star and an all-star in Sabonis. But 1 year in the West, and 2, you have Sabonis is a very... He's not a fast-paced player. He's very, he's an all-around player. He's a really good passer, great rebounder. He can score, but he's not, fast-paced. He's a slow-moving player. De'Aaron Fox is one of the fastest players in the league. I don't know how you put those two together. I don't know how you make those two games work. And in my opinion, the Pacers freed up 20-something million in cap space and got their future point guard. So they won that trade from that alone. So yeah, that happened, and the trade deadline's tomorrow.
Think the Celtics are going to make a move?
So I'm glad you segued into that for me. The Celtics have won 8 of their last 9 games. We haven't talked about the Celtics in a little bit because they've sucked a lot this year. But since the new calendar year, January 1st, they have had no significant injuries. They have had basically everyone. They have the best defensive rating in the NBA. They have the 4th best overall now. They have the biggest point differential in the Eastern Conference. I think they actually might have the best point differential in the NBA. And they're 8-9 in their last 9 games. They have been playing very well. They have been playing mediocre teams, but what I say to that, and I think so, I would say I would think, all right, they're just beating these teams they have to beat, right? Well, 1, they were losing to these teams early in the season, so that's progress. And 2, you beat the teams you have to beat. And 3, if you look at the Heat, Bucks, Bulls, and 76ers, 4 of the top 5 teams, if you look at their record and who they've had to play, they have played more below 500 teams than the Celtics have. So it's like the Celtics schedule, they started the year off with a hard-ass schedule. They were playing some difficult teams, and now it's starting to balance out, and they're starting to catch back up right now. They're tied for the 6th seed. They're in the playoffs right now. And they're only 4 games back than the number 1 seed. And I'm not saying that they're going to get the number 1 seed, but the way that
It's definitely not out of reach.
they're making progress. They have a 4.6 point differential, which is number 1 in the East by a little bit. And I think it is 4th in the league. Yeah, so I was right there. Now, Nick, you asked if they were going to make any trades. Marcus Smart, in the last 9 games, he was out for a little bit. He came back, and he has been I've criticized Marcus. I love him, but I've criticized him more than I ever have before this year, and he has been playing unbelievable. He's been playing as a point guard role. He's not taking over. He's not shooting a bunch of shitty shots. The Celtics have went from 20th in the league in assists per game to 4th in the league in assists per game because they're just playing team basketball, which is
So formula's working now.
formulas working. Defense, they're playing hard-nosed defense. The last 2 games, they've won by 30 points the last 2 games. They've held teams to under 100 points, and I believe 25 of their 56 games this year. So almost half their games, they've held opponents to under 100 points, which in the NBA, listen, I know you're not playing great teams, but you're still playing professional basketball players. That's not an easy feat. The starters are great. They're going to keep the starters. Marcus isn't going anywhere unless they get a substantial trade offer, which I don't think they will. They're going to keep Jalen, Jason, Robert Williams. They could trade Horford. They're definitely good. I think they'd be smart to make a few minor trades for their bench because their bench is what is going to hold them back. Their starters have been playing phenomenal, but once you get that bench in there, that's when it starts to get a little shaky. I think that there are a few guys on the table across the league. I think another team, Washington, Bradley Beal's out for the year now. He's going to have wrist surgery. So that's going to be a team that's just going to trade everyone around him. Portland's going to have a few guys they're going to trade. There's going to be teams that are just going to be selling guys. So the Celtics can get a few guys for cheap. There are a few guys. Dennis Schroeder's probably going to get traded. I think he's most definitely going to get traded no matter what it's for. Josh Richardson could get traded, and Aaron Nesmith, Romeo Langford, 2 young guys. I think all those guys can be packaged for something. And if the Celtics were smart, they would do something because they need the help. But it's encouraging. They're looking good right now, and we'll just see if they keep it up.
Just take that, but yeah.
We'll see if they keep it up, but they're looking good right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. You too.
Appreciate it, man. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Celtics right now. We really haven't given an update over the last month or so. So things are looking okay in Boston. They played the Nets last night. I will say this before we move on. They played the Nets last night, and they didn't have Harden, Kyrie, or Kevin Durant. So they were going up against JV players. They were up 28-2 in the first quarter. 28-2, and within 5 minutes of the game, they went on
I think
2-4.
Steve Nash gets fired.
Here's the thing about Steve Nash. He's not a good coach. He just coaches Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. So I remember when
No offense, I don't care who's in there. You're not coaching those guys.
he's not. No, Steve Nash is a puppet. He is a figurehead. He is the guy that will take the responsibility and will take the blame when shit hits the fan when he's really not doing much behind the scenes. People were saying that about Steve Kerr when he started coaching the Warriors when they had, Steph, Clay, KD, and all them. But he's proven to be he's proven himself that he's a very good head coach. But Steve Nash, no, he's not a good head coach. He won't get fired, at least this year. We'll see what happens. So the Nets, at the beginning of January, the Nets were 8.5 games ahead of the Celtics. Now they're 1 game behind the Celtics. They hit I think they lost 10 games in a row. They lost 9 games in a row.
I guess Kevin Durant is a big component of that team, huh?
He's been out for the last month. I think he's been out for the last month. He hasn't played any of the last 9 games. Kyrie, they have, let's see. They have, let me do quick, 50.
What a fucking headache.
They've played 54 games. They have 28 games left. He is only eligible to play in 8 of those games. 8 of those games. And James Harden is is doing whatever the fuck he wants right now because he's a bitch. And
I'm so glad the Celtics did not try to trade for him.
I
That was a
remember,
fucking disaster.
Nick, I remember when that was like a rumor and all that stuff was going around and people were like, they would have had to given away everything to get him, and he wouldn't have stayed. And he's not a guy that you want to really build around. I think James Harden's a very talented player. I think he's one of the best players in the NBA, but he is a diva, and it's all about himself. It is. That's always how it is, how it's been. It's always how it's going to be. So there's just the Nets. They're falling apart right now. Of course, the playoffs come around.
Philadelphia's looking at themselves saying, "I'm glad we didn't trade for this guy."
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that's not off the table. They could do a Simmons for Harden trade tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it will, but it could. It's a possibility. I don't know how. I think that would be better for. I'll say I think it would be better for the Nets. I think the Nets would be fine with Ben Simmons if they have Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and I guess Kyrie. I'm taking Kyrie out of the equation, but like, I don't know, because you'd get more. You'd probably get Tyrese Maxey, who's their starting point guard, and Ben Simmons for Harden. And Tyrese Maxey's a 20-point per game scorer. You can do something with that because Simmons, he's one of the best defenders in the league. I know he gets a lot of flack for a lot of things, but
Which he deserves.
which he deserves. Yeah, I've given him plenty of shit over the last year, especially. But he is one of the best defenders in the league. He can guard positions 1 to 5, and there's not many, if any, players can do that besides him. One of the best ball handlers, is great at getting his teammates open. He just can't shoot. That's really his only thing. He can't shoot.
It's kind of important in the NBA.
It's very important. But like, if you put him like,
It's like trying to swing a baseball, bad baseball.
You know what else is important?
What's
playing the sport that you're supposed to play.
yeah. So that's
What do they say? The best ability is availability. And you're talking about Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons who just don't play. Like, these two guys are irrelevant. They are irrelevant to this NBA season.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'll be completely honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked if Kyrie Irving retired after this year,
See ya.
walked away from the
Gives
game,
a fuck.
because with everything going on this year,
I don't think he wants to play.
I don't think he wants to play.
I don't think he wants to play.
The NBA isn't. Not that the NBA isn't not allowing him to play. They're allowing him to play. It's his decision to not play by doing what
I thought
he's
it was
doing.
The city saying he can't
It's
come
the
in and play.
well. It's all right. So the NBA is allowing him to
The
play,
NBA can't
but
control what they do
in
in
New
the
York
cities.
he can't play. In California you can't play either because there's also a law in California that you can't play if you're not vaccinated. But
6 states.
but the Nets, I think I brought this up the other day, Mike, when we were talking about it. The Nets could just pay a fine every game and have Kyrie play at home, but they're not doing that.
Why would you want to fucking have money come out of your pocket to do that?
I think, and that's the exact reason why. It's a mess. I feel bad for Kevin Durant, to be honest with you. For years, he's always been the guy that everyone shit on and thought was a diva and all this stuff. And then look at the team he's on now. Look at the guys
He
around
decided
him.
to go there, though.
No, it was his decision.
It's his decision
It was
to go
his
there.
decision. He dug his grave.
He's stuck there too, isn't he?
I think next year is the last year of his contract. Him and Kyrie signed at the same time. They signed similar deals. So I think after next
Kevin Durant,
season.
I get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? He doesn't. He's not a guy that would.
I know
request a
this
trade, but-
is such a biased opinion, and I'm gonna say it. It's biased. If he fucking came to Boston, he won a ring here, he would put us over the hump in a heartbeat.
So, do you remember 2016 when he was a free agent when he went to Golden State? I'll just say
Right, and
this.
Tom Brady went to try to recruit him and all that other
I
bullshit.
was the last three.
I think he was so close to signing here too.
The last three teams was either resigns in Oklahoma, goes to Golden State, or comes to Boston. Those are the last three teams. He wasn't going to resign in Oklahoma, so it came down to Golden State and Boston. I remember because they had the meeting. I flew to West Virginia to see my cousin, and for 2 days prior to that, I was just on Twitter refreshing, because they said he was going to make his decision in the next coming days. They just didn't know when. There are reports Yahoo Sports put out an article the night before that said that he decided to sign with the Celtics. Next day, I'm on a plane. and I have the TV on, no volume, nothing like that. I just have it on Sports Center, just waiting. All of a sudden, I see breaking news: Kevin Durant signs with the I wasn't expecting him to sign with Boston. I hoped he was, but when he went to Golden State, I was pissed. I was bullshit. If he went to Boston, Nick, they had at the time Isaiah Thomas. You had a rookie. You had Jaylen Brown. You had a rookie Jason Tatum. Al Horford. You still had the first time around. That was a championship team. Any team that Kevin Durant is on, it's a championship team, no matter what way you look at it. If he came to Boston, we're looking ahead in the future. There's no doubt that they'd be a championship team. But he had a chance to do it a few years ago, and in Boston, you come here, you win a championship, you are immortalized forever. That is a fact. So, but he won 2 championships in Golden State, so
Yeah.
he did well for
Fortunately, he ain't
himself,
coming
anyways.
himself.
No, it ain't gonna
He ain't
happen.
coming here.
But all right, let's move on from some NBA. We have a moose attacks sled dogs. What is this?
Moose attack sled dogs.
This is a video. A bull moose in Alaska was out in the wild and started
bull moose.
a bull moose.
The hell's a bull moose?
That's got to be a big ass moose.
you got a picture of this?
I'm trying to pull up the video right now. There's an ad playing right now. I'll read it.
Fucking ads.
Um,
If you got a picture of this, I want to see it.
the moose spent more than an hour stomping on the on the dog sleds. And this sounds like this
fucking
actually
crack.
sounds awful. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, there's no picture, huh? Let me see if you know what. Let me instead of this,
regular moose.
let me pull up a bull moose picture and let's see how big these fuckers
That just
are.
looks like a regular moose.
That thing is a fucking.
Woo! This thing is massive.
Those
Holy
things
shit.
are fucking massive.
Look at
You ever
this.
Seen a moose?
No.
I haven't either. Yeah, things are
That thing will kill you.
massive.
Moose are quite large.
But yeah, so
Fucking hit that with your car, you're dead.
your car is the one taking the most of the damage
Your car's
there.
taking the fucking hit, not that guy.
Okay, so next
Get
topic.
a fucking Mack truck to fucking get damage on that thing.
Antonio Brown. He was named the president of Donda Sports. I think we talked about this. He purchased
Let me guess. You gonna talk about that stupid $2 million suite thing? He
that is what the article is. Yeah.
Stupid.
So he
I
bought a
fucking
$2
read this
million
yesterday.
Super Bowl
Fucking
suite.
Stupid.
This is a game meant to be
heard
watched
about this?
together. This is the love and unity we need to push. This is for the kids, our next generation. He said in all caps. So, Antonio Brown
Spent
will
$2
be
million supposedly on the owner's suite for the Super Bowl.
He could have been to the Super Bowl if he just, didn't throw a fit and stayed and helped Tom Brady
I
out.
think he would have been in the Super Bowl if he didn't throw the fit.
You think?
As much as I want to say, I think Antonio Brown was the difference why the Bucks were out. He was the difference.
Yeah,
If Antonio Brown was playing in that game against the Rams, I think that game would have ended differently.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Nick. It definitely would have been a whole different game.
I'm not saying the Rams wouldn't have still won the game. Just saying, I think it could have been different.
You give Tom Brady another number one receiver and his favorite receiver, nonetheless, too. So
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. He was definitely his go-to guy.
Tom Brady bent over backwards for this guy. If you don't think that was his go-to guy, his favorite receiver, then I don't know. He loved Chris Godwin, Mike Evans are great, but Antonio Brown, I mean, no.
Antonio Brown's a
Antonio
different
Brown
animal.
was the best receiver in football for 3-5 years. At one point when he was in Pittsburgh, he had every he was number one in receiving yards, catches, touchdowns, whatever. He was unbelievable. And obviously shit happened with him, and that's why he slipped down a little bit, fell down. But I don't know. Do you guys? I don't know if we're talking about. Do you guys think he's coming back next year? Do you think there's a team
Brown?
that would go after him? If you have a prediction,
No
what
shot.
team you think would? No, you're shaking your
No
head, Mike.
shot.
No.
Yeah, it's just too many things have happened. Excuse me. Too many things have happened, and I think that last debacle that
was
happened
his last straw.
on the it's one thing for things to happen behind the scenes and then it comes up, but that was just to put on that kind of show on the field. I think that's just kind of your final straw right there. That was bad.
Right.
That was bad.
People are selling his that gear on eBay and stuff
Yeah.
like that, making
course
a
they are.
quick buck. Why not?
Some idiot's gonna buy it too.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. elementary students protest and get chocolate milk back on the school's menu.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Good
this
for
is
It
them.
was a
big.
thing for a while that they took the chocolate milk away.
So California, I guess.
It's always California.
Why would they take the chocolate milk away?
I don't know. It's messed up.
What they got? Yeah, what's
What's
wrong?
with chocolate milk?
What's wrong with chocolate milk? I remember in my middle school we had regular milk, chocolate milk, coffee milk, strawberry milk.
Yeah, strawberry milk.
Yeah, I think those were the only.
Strawberry
four.
milk's like low key pretty fire.
Strawberry milk's really. I mean, if you get obviously there's different
You gotta get
brands,
the right
different
one,
companies.
though.
You got to
Some
get
of
the
them are
right
gross.
one. Got to get the right one. Okay, so in Vacaville, Vacaville. We'll just go Vacaville. They took away the chocolate milk due to its high sugar content,
Oh, please.
and but they feed the kids probably the shittiest school lunches they
They'll give
have
you
to
a fucking
offer.
sugar content.
The United States Department of Agriculture says there are 25 grams of sugar in 1 cup of chocolate milk. That's almost double the amount of sugar present in a cup of 1% milk.
Okay, so when they serve you pizza, that's not bad for you?
Yeah, I know. They give you like hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff. They serve you hot dogs that are made
Get the
from.
fuck out of here.
Dude, I don't know about you guys. I mean, middle school lunches, they served us shit. It was awful. My middle school served us just terrible lunch all the time.
Did you go to Marianapolis?
Middle school, not high school. I mean, listen, Marianapolis food wasn't anything to brag about either. It was nice having the option of being there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but that doesn't mean they gave you good food all the time. So these students, they left their classes on Friday and rallied outside the school. This was apparently in coordination with teachers who felt it was a good opportunity for students to learn how to form arguments and stand up for their beliefs, even if it was over chocolate milk. A 4th grade student said that's how we feel about it. We feel really strongly about it, and we want to protest and bring it back. Well, it worked.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Bring
there's
it on
just
back.
these little things. For comparison's sake, Coca-Cola has 44 grams of sugar per cup compared to chocolate milk's 25 grams, and 1% milk has 13 grams of sugar. So it's like
Milk has
there-
sugar in it. That's just what it is.
there's still a good amount of sugar in regular milk too, and then orange juice is 21 grams of sugar per cup. These kids are going to go home and drink Coca-Cola, which has twice as many grams of sugar, almost twice, and then orange juice, which I'm sure if the school serves breakfast, they probably have orange juice. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. All right. What else do we have? I think that's kind of...
The whole school thing just gives me shivers. Like, ugh. I
What,
do
that
not-
they're-
I do not. There's school in general. Just, ugh. Fucking hated school. Fucking sucked.
I was never a big school guy either,
Fucking
Nick.
hated school. Fucking got my diploma. I got the fuck out of there. Hey, you want to take pictures? Nope. Don't know who you are anymore, fucker.
There was...
I'm out.
Peace out. I haven't actually... Once I graduated my middle school, I never even went back to visit or anything like that. I was out.
All right, I'll tell you a quick funny story since
Go
we're
ahead.
on this topic. It was senior week, and when I was graduating, the principal handed us all a piece of paper saying, like, oh, do you want to be participants in, like, alumni days? And, you know, would you come back to do stuff with the school, whatever? Nope. 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 Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I'd love to come back. La, la, la. Nope. Nope. I handed her. She goes, wow, really, huh? And I'm like, yeah. Been here for fucking 10 years. I'm fucking sick of this place.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Now, listen, school isn't meant to... It doesn't last forever. It's a part of your life. You go through it for a certain amount of years, and then you're done with it. You don't owe the school anything. You don't have to go back
Fuck
and
you.
do whatever. You know what I mean? That's
Fuck you.
your decision. When we did like a prank in my middle school. We did like just like a stupid thing. We just hung like sticky notes up on like every teacher's boards and like all over the classrooms and stuff. And they threw the biggest fit, and they basically like told us like you're not allowed back here. So that's also another reason why I never went back. I didn't want to go
Fuck
anyways,
them.
but I was like, all right,
Fuck
you're gonna butthurt over sticky notes. But all right, one last topic, and then we'll get into joke of the day, Nick.
Perfect.
So there was this picture or this film or video that was taken by Mars rover on Mars, and it filmed what they think was an alien on a rock. It looked like it was sunbathing on this rock.
Sunbathing.
So it looks very similar to a human. Recently, they photographed something very interesting. According to UFO expert Scott Waring, photos of Mars that the space agency released last April. So this is from last year, but this was released recently. He describes it as 100% proof of intelligent life. They show a small being with a pink body, and I'll show you this in a minute. It shows a small being with a pink body lying on a rock. And he says there was a person laying down watching the NASA Mars rover from a safe distance away. The person is about 1 foot tall, lying down, pinkish upper chest, neck and face, reddish hair, wearing a dark suit, but has a gray object over one shoulder. It looks like a backpack of some sort. There are even footprints behind the person leading up to the location they chose to lay down. And this is the picture.
Aliens and backpacks.
This is the picture. Yeah, go ahead. Now, could that be anything else? Yeah. That could be many other things. But
fucking rock.
That looks like a rock to me.
it could just be a rock
If you look at the
on top of
shadows on
another
the
rock.
other rocks, that just looks like a rock with a shadow. You know, I'm not.
But this guy, Mike,
I
he's a
don't know
UFO
about this.
expert, so I don't know
Okay,
if
I
you
believe
should.
him.
I don't know
Never
if you should be
mind.
doubting him. But yeah, so that's been making its rounds on the internet over the last few days. I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, I think any of this stuff is interesting. But that's what they think that is. This guy says it's 100% proof that there's aliens. So again, Mike, I wouldn't
fucking shit, there's aliens.
I think there's aliens. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is the deciding factor.
Need you to fucking tell me there's aliens. I know there's fucking aliens.
All right, guys. For years, we've been doubting whether aliens are real. We have videos of UFOs and stuff. But this picture right here, this is proof. This is
like,
what. This
that
is the deciding
just looks
factor.
like a rock to me.
Fucking ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, Nick. We're not getting the fuck out of here because we still have joke of the day.
All right.
And
Joke of the day.
It
All right.
is. The floor is yours. Let's look at.
Got any
some-
comments real quick before I look at that?
Mike, your buddy Zach here, always asking about the Bruins, says, "Hey, Big Mike, the Bruins took a tough loss last night
Yeah.
against the Pens. They looked good in the first, but got too comfortable and gave up."
Yep. Yeah, the Pens are pretty good. They got Malkin back like a month ago or so, and they're a good team. They're a good team. Yeah, they it's a tough loss, but you know whatever. All-Star break, second half of the season, plug away, make the playoffs, see what happens.
They just had the All-Star break this past weekend, correct?
Mhm.
Dwayne Bacon,
Dwayne.
some sports topics. Do you think Harden will get traded? No. If he does, I think it's the only other team is Philly that would get him. Do you think Dennis Schroeder gets traded? If anyone in the Celtics is going to get traded, it's going to be him. He's not. They'll trade him for a second-round pick if
You think you think it's worth a second round pick to get rid of him?
They all right. So they signed him. So the story with him, I'm maybe you guys know this. We've talked about this before. He was offered during the season a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Lakers. Turned it down.
Which is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever.
Turned it down because he thought he was worth more. Fast forward to this past offseason, he quickly found out that he is not worth nearly as much as he was being offered. If he took that contract, that would have been probably one of the worst contracts in the
And
game.
he should have took it.
He should have took it, and it would have been hilarious because it was the Lakers that offered it to him, and that would have been just awesome if they did that. But the Celtics signed him for a $6 million deal, 1-year deal. He's gonna be a free agent this offseason. I mean,
You don't think they'd re-sign him?
not for
He's
any
not-
more,
he's
not
not-
for any more than what he's getting paid now.
Is he not? I mean, again, I have no
He's
idea. I haven't watched the Celtics.
Like, all right,
but,
he's
I mean,
not.
I've heard he's a pretty good bench player.
I personally don't really have that much of an issue with him. I don't really think he needs to get traded. Like, he's fine. But the only thing with him is that he's not someone that he doesn't help his teammate. Like, I'd say he's in it for himself, but he's just, when he's in the game, he's gonna take most of the shots. The ball's stuck in his hand. That's the biggest issue. But this year, I mean, he's averaging 14 points, 4 assists off the bench. The shooting percentage is he's a 35% 3-point shooter, which isn't. It's slightly below average. It's not the worst, but you could do better. But I just think he's just kind of taking minutes away from other guys that could be playing. Like Peyton Pritchard barely plays, and I think I'm not saying he's just as good, but I think he's better for the team. I think he's just more of a team player, and he can play. He's a good player. Josh Richardson, I think he could easily be the backup point guard. I think he's going to get
Can't believe
traded.
he turned down a 4-year, $80 million deal.
4-year, $84 million because it was $21 million on average.
Kidding me?
His agent, I don't know if he fired his agent or not, but he should have.
Fucked that one up.
He really did. Fumbled the bag because he'll never see that again. He'll never see that money again.
You don't go from a 4-year, $84 million deal to a 1-year fucking mid-level exception.
He messed up too because he went into a very deep free agency class where money was being given out to other guys. Like people were going ahead of him, so by the time he was left, no one had any money to give out. So it's like he just got the shit out of the stick too, which was he didn't think it through. But all right, Nick,
All right, let's go.
Go
Take
for
it
it.
away.
take it away, Nick.
All right. Just for the record, I think I got to do joke of the day next Tuesday because I won't be here on Wednesday. I'm gonna take that up with Casey.
We got to
Guys,
do what we got to
just
do,
gotta do
Nick.
it.
I'll make sure I'm here for it. Don't worry.
All right. So, we have got some jokes today. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Enough of the knock joke, huh?
My wife.
Oh man,
My wife.
that was nuts.
That was one of the craziest.
Fucking nuts.
All right.
All right, here
Who's
we
there?
go.
Okay.
Interrupting cow.
You did this one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you say it's right, and then you move at me. Ready?
Yeah.
Interrupting cow. Who?
Boo.
Yeah.
All right. That was an honest mistake. Here we go. All right. If you're American when you go in the bathroom and American when you come out, what are you in the bathroom?
An American? European.
European.
Oh.
European.
I feel like
daily dose of Ryan, straight off his studying of the jokes last night.
I feel like you can frame that differently. Like, what nationality are you when you're in the bathroom? You're European.
I'm just reading it the
That's
way it's
funny.
written.
No, that's funny. I never heard of that one before.
All right.
That's
All
clever.
right, let's see.
That one.
Ryan knew that one already.
That was a good one.
I'll give it to him.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? You're a fucking asshole.
Oh. That's actually funny.
What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? You know it, don't you?
Can
know it.
opener.
What do you got? You sure?
A can opener
You're
that
fucking
doesn't
with
work?
me. You know it, don't you? A can't opener. All right, here we go.
Are you shitting
All right, let's see.
me? Are you shitting me?
There are 3 types of people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Those who can count and those who can't.
What?
Because there's 3 types of people. And going into.
I'm kind of
I get it
Just
now, but
scroll.
that one.
I'm kind of stumped. Yeah, but where's the third?
Well, that's the.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Fuck. All right. All right. What did you hear about the Italian chef who died? He passed away.
Dude, you do literally.
Yeah, what do you
almost
do?
these
Are you giving me these jokes, or what's going on? Does he run these by you before the show starts
Yeah,
or something?
shit.
What's going on?
All right. Here we go. I got a muffin joke.
You gonna what?
I got a muffin.
Yeah, what'd you
joke.
say?
On New Year's?
That was so great. I got a New Year's
Listen,
joke. I got a Wednesday
yeah,
joke.
point.
My wife.
I love it. I love it though.
All right.
Yeah, it's not really like the impression that's on, but it's just you say it so loud. It's like you're screaming, "My wife!"
2 muffins were sitting in an oven.
Uh-huh.
One turned to the other and said, "Wow."
The way you, dude, it's the way you say these jokes. It's insane.
All right. 2 muffins were sitting in an oven. One turned to the other and said, "Wow, it's pretty hot in here." The other one shouted, "Wow, we're talking muffin."
What does that mean? Am I missing this?
I
one?
don't. I don't. I don't get it. I don't. I'm just.
Yeah.
I'll read it one more time.
Wow, we're
Okay.
talking muffins? Like they're surprised they're talking? that what's going on?
Yeah, I think so. Two muffins were sitting in an oven. One turned to the other and said, "Wow, it's pretty hot in here." The other one shouted, "Wow, a talking muffin!" Like he was shocked that he was talking muffin. Oh, got a vacuum joke. There we go. I sold my vacuum the other day. All it was doing was collecting dust.
Good, nice.
You get it?
Good,
No, did you get it?
building.
Oh, I got it.
You got
Good building on the joke.
the joke sucked.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Just collecting dust. Don't mind me.
I don't think he got it.
No.
Did you?
Yeah, it's collecting dust. The vacuum's
No.
collecting dust. Do you get the joke?
No, so he's kind of doing a joke off your joke because vacuums suck things up.
Yeah. So no. So the answer was no.
Hey, fuck you, fucker. All right.
All right. Glad we're all on
Let's
the
see
same
what we got
page
going
now.
on here. Did you hear about the fire in the shoe factory? This reminds me of John. The factory with the kids.
I was. What? Okay.
10,000 souls were lost. The police said some heels started it.
Like heels, like.
Soul heels
Oh.
of shoe factory. Shoe factory.
Heels like is that
Like a bad. That's what I'm saying. Is Peel's like a bad person or
Yeah,
something. Like a.
yeah.
Because like in wrestling, heel is like the bad guy. Face is good.
No.
Is that maybe?
No, it just was the souls. 10,000 souls were
Yeah.
lost.
Okay.
Soles of a shoe, and then the police said some heels started it. So heels.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with the wrestling thing because I think that
Cool.
kind of
That
makes
is, yeah.
sense. All right.
All right.
R.I.P.
All right. Let's see. Oh, we got an elephant joke. All right. I like elephants. Everything else is irrelevant.
irrelevant?
Irrelevant.
I got an elephant joke. I like elephants.
Oh man.
What's red and bad for your teeth? Fucking asshole.
A brick?
A brick?
How the fuck do you guess that? You literally looked these up.
What do you
Brick.
mean you know that one? That's not a joke. That's just a fact.
I'm right.
That is a fact.
All right. We got. It's already 9 o'clock. We got to do 3 more and we're done.
All right, I'll
Right.
count.
All right. Well, if he gets the last one, you already know the rules.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
know.
there's a lot of technicalities when you
rules.
say there's 3 left, Nick.
All right. Why does Snoop Dogg use an umbrella?
What is it?
What? You do.
Stop.
It's ridiculous.
Stop.
It's literally
What is
ridiculous.
it?
For drizzle. For drizzle, my whizzle.
Oh,
That's I like that one.
that one's
That was a
funny.
good one.
But Ryan, what the fuck?
Dude, it's insane.
You know too many jokes
All right.
off rip. What the hell?
All right.
They spend
What-
less time on your computer, Ryan.
What do you call an alligator in a vest?
An investigator.
Ah,
An
that's
investigator.
good. That's good.
Thank
All
I like that.
right.
All right.
That's a good
We
one.
got.
Last one.
All right.
A man and a giraffe walk into a bar. After a few drinks, the giraffe falls over and dies. The man begins to walk out when the bartender stops him. Hey, you can't leave that lying there, the bartender yells out loud. The man turns around. It's not a lion. It's a giraffe.
You can't leave that lion there.
Lion.
Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
All right, we're
All
done.
right. That's it.
Oh man.
That's
You can't leave that lion there.
No,
It's a
you can't.
giraffe.
Can't do it.
Jesus.
All right. Don't worry, folks. We're going to do Joke of the Day next week on Tuesday because I won't be here on Wednesday, so we'll make sure we do it on Tuesday.
Don't worry. We're not gonna miss it.
Not going to miss a beat. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Thanks for being on the Patreon, Pentagon, whatever you want to call it. And we'll be back here tomorrow, Thursday. That's a wrap.